you've mentioned so many times throughout this chat, like how important it is to have these people around you, whether it's your friends, whether it's people you worked with previously that you need in place.
Yeah.
I think it's so important because if you've got people around you who aren't willing to give you the space, who don't say, okay, well, tell me more about that, or who just go, oh, well, there's people who have far worse going on or whatever, and they shut you down. That is so detrimental to you moving through it because you just get stuck in it. So it seems like that is such an important thing for you, well, everyone, to have that soul team in place that are going to be there for you.
I'm just going to be honest, like the team that I had prior to what I've got now, like didn't care, genuinely didn't, and that was something that really led me to feeling depressed and wanting to not do it anymore because I genuinely felt like no one gave a shit. And when I voiced that I was struggling, no one cared. And that was like a real thing for me of like, okay, wow, like I'm just genuinely here to just do my job. Like, and yeah, now like obviously I've got a new team and I'm around like people that genuinely love and care about me, and it makes such a difference. So I think when you are struggling, when you're feeling that way, it's so important to be around people that genuinely love you and care about you and just want the best for you.
Well, also, I think the hardest thing when you're struggling is feeling like you're alone in it.
And that is what I felt. Like I felt really alone. And I almost like then felt like when I was coming to work, like, you know, you can just feel like an energy of people just not wanting you to be there. And I hated that. Like I hated walking into a room thinking people don't want me to be here. And when you're already feeling shit, like, yeah, it's just, that's a hard environment to be in.
How much of that do you think was your own paranoia versus what was really going on?
I don't think there was paranoia, like, if I'm being honest. Like, there's, like, certain things that went on and happened that spoke the truth, really. So, yeah.
And it's, you know, it's hard to get out of that, isn't it? I've been in situations like that at work where I've thought, God, I really don't think people like me. And I have questioned, is that me being, like, dramatic? Am I putting myself in this position? But I think you know.
Yeah, massively.
You can feel it.
Well, I could tell because when I wasn't at work and I was around my friends and family, like, I felt like a different person. And then I'd walk back into work and I'd question, like, God, am I like a knob? Am I like hard to deal with? And I just questioned myself all the time. But then as soon as I wasn't at work, like, I felt like Jesy, like the one who my friends and family really love. But like, it was just an energy and an aura of just, I just felt like people didn't want me to be there or wanted to be around me and didn't want to really address that I was not in a good place and was kind of just like, well, you kind of just need to crack on and get on with it.
Well, I guess this is as cynical as it gets, but we know what this industry can be like. There's no time to feel down.
No.
I didn't have that when I was in a bad place. It was like, there was no time for me to have a day off work. I couldn't. It's not good. It's not good for anyone. I know there's millions of people, there's lots of people that listen to this podcast who feel deeply alone in it and deeply depressed, and their boss isn't going to say you can have a day off or a week off or however long you need off to sort of get some kind of help or support. It's really hard. I think the infrastructure that we're working with on a societal level doesn't allow time for mental problems. Physical it will, because you might have to go and have something sorted or whatever, but the mental one, because it's usually invisible, there's still such disparity between you're physically ill, you have time off, or you're mentally very unwell, have time off. There's a taboo around that still that I think's not great, and there's a lot of people suffering because of that.
Yeah, which is why people don't talk about it and why they struggle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure who you spoke to first, but did you feel worried that there would be concerns about if you could carry on doing what you were doing if you spoke up? Because I think I certainly had that. Like, if I say how I'm really feeling, will I still have a bloody job here? Because I don't know if I will. Yeah,
well, I just remember, obviously, the first time. So, like, obviously, I'd, like, taken an overdose. I went into hospital, and then I had a music video, like, a week after. And obviously my mum found out and she was distraught and she was like, right, this is it. You're not doing this anymore. Like, because my mum's the kind of mum that's like, I genuinely couldn't give a shit what you do as long as you're happy. Yeah. That's all I care about. Yeah. So she was like, no, this isn't happening anymore. I'm like putting my foot down and you're coming out of this. And obviously I didn't know what to do at the time because it was very early stages of Little Mix as well. And I just remember going in, talking about it, and I was told, well, you know, if you take time off, then it's just going to cause articles, and then there's going to be loads of press around it. So then what are you going to do? And I don't think that's a good idea. And it was kind of just brushed under the carpet. And then I was told, well, you should just go on antidepressants. There was no like, you know, let's address this. Let's like sort this out. Let's like properly take time. Like there was no like actual concern for me. It was just more like, oh God, well, what's everyone going to say? And like, and I was just like, oh, okay. So I just brushed under carpet, did the music video next week, and it was like nothing ever happened. And I think that's what led to like it just got worse.
Well, you carry that shit around.
Yeah.
You can't just move on to it and do a music video. It's still all there, isn't it?
Yeah.